What's up, everybody? It's in the house. Your boy Stephen A. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Steel City. We got to get a playoff victory. We got to get a playoff victory. You see these people here? We know what time it is. My man R.C. Ryan Clark, Super Bowl champion. He's in the house. Cam Newton is in the house. This man right here. Come on over here, baby. You see this man right here? It's the Steel City, baby. It's time. It's the playoff. What's up, everybody? It's your boy in the house. First Take is live from Pittsburgh. You know what I'm about to say, right? Holla at your boy!
First.
And get into what we saw yesterday, because it was some great games over the week on both Saturday and on Sunday. The defending Super Bowl champions were eliminated in the Eagles yesterday by the Niners, 23-19. The Eagles were just doomed once again by that lethargic offense. Jalen Hurts threw for just 168 yards. Philly could only muster up 2 field goals in the second half. Here's Sirianni and Jalen Hurts after the loss.
Having everything in front of us, it was about winning. And that's something that we didn't collectively do, and that starts with me. So I take it very personally on that.
You got to use this adversity to shape you, and that's for everybody in that locker room. Myself, the coaches, the players. Let the pain shape you to what you want to be, and we'll use this like we used it at the end of 22, 23, because all that was necessary for 24, and we'll see what the future holds.
All right, so they're going to use this for next season. Their season obviously comes to an end. No longer can we call them the reigning Super Bowl champs. That'll be crowned to someone else here in a couple of weeks. But what do you think was the biggest reason the Eagles lost yesterday?
Well, listen, I would say Christian McCaffrey, C-Mac, and what he did in the fourth quarter, 3 receptions, 44 yards, 2 touchdowns. You could say him. But I would say the biggest thing is what we've been talking about all season long with the Philadelphia Eagles. The inconsistency, how much, just transparent and predictable their offense is. I'm going to make a prediction right here on First Take to start out the show. There will be a new offensive coordinator in Philadelphia next season. It's the worst kept secret in the National Football League. There will be a new offensive coordinator. There's no way you can keep Patullo after what we saw. They was just too predictable. And Dan Orlovsky pointed it out on Get Up a little bit earlier today. I think there was 7 plays that Jalen Hurts was lined up behind center instead of the shotgun. All 7 times they ran the football. I mean, just no ingenuity, no innovativeness whatsoever. And even though we're going to talk about at some point AJ Bown, some of the drop passes and the things that, you asked for the attention, you asked for the allure, whatever, you wanted the ball in your hands. There were missed opportunities yesterday. It doesn't take away from the fact that he looked like an absolute prophet. What he had been lamenting and expressed concern about with the Philadelphia Eagles all season long came to fruition. Exactly what he was saying is exactly what we ended up lamenting. The Philadelphia Eagles deserve to lose this game. They deserve to be home because they never made amends for the errors that they were suffering from all season long.
We talked about it all year. Eventually, this offense was going to catch up with them, and it happened yesterday.
What?
Are we surprised?
No.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Are you surprised? I mean, at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles were who we thought they were. And yesterday's performance was a microcosm of that. We've seen insufficient play. We've seen the ups and downs and the downs and the ups, and everybody tried to say, oh, they played the Washington Commanders, they're back. They played the Las Vegas Raiders, they're back. And then all of a sudden you run up against somebody who's competent at playing both sides or all 3 phases of football, and that's what happens. Everybody's going to make it about AJ Bown. Well, they battled back from the drop that A.J. Bown had. So, therefore, it's like, okay, what's your next excuse? And for all the people who are trying to hold A.J. Bown accordingly, I'm good with that. But make sure you hold Nick Sirianni accordingly, too. Jalen Hurts accordingly, too. Kevin Patullo accordingly, too. Because what we've seen is nothing new. They tried to mask it. They tried to put lip balm. They tried to put eyeliner. They tried to put mascara on it. And they tried to challenge the status quo of saying, you've been doing this all year, coming up short and falling victim to the expectations where we have had you set. And yesterday, it just showed the most.
What this was the Philadelphia Eagles offense playing too scared to win. They took 3 shots in the first half. They took a shot to Goddard. They took 2 shots to AJ Bown. Everything else was short and intermediate. And when you look at this game, Kyle Shanahan is the person playing without a Brandon Ayuk who hasn't played all year. A George Kittle who tears his Achilles in the game. A Ricky Pearsall who was on the sideline. And it looked like the Philadelphia Eagles were the team that were hampered. The Philadelphia Eagles was the offense that was on crutches. And when you look at this game and you pull back from it, Kevin Patullo has to be gone. Kevin Patullo shouldn't get an opportunity to even clean out his locker today after what we saw from that team. But also Nick Sirianni has to be held accountable because he inserted himself into the offense mid-season. Yeah. And AJ Bown, for whatever you think about his play, for whatever happened last night, what's happened during the season, these were the things that he was trying to bring up every single time you put a microphone in his place, in his face. And me, as a person who says, hey, keep locker room business would say, shut it up and fix it. And they never fixed it, and now they're home watching another team go try to hoist the sticky Lombardi.
And it's important that you bring that up because when we saw A.J. Bown on the sideline getting into it with Nick Sirianni, I don't know what the hell was said. I'm willing to bet my check that's why. Because all of this stuff that we've been saying all season long, look at what's happening. Look at what's happening. Now, you get Jalen Hurts, you got to look at him, too, only from the standpoint, you got to look at him. They're getting into it right now, talking one another. But A.J. Bown, for him to do that, it's like, yo, this is the playoffs. This is what I've been saying. And you didn't want to listen. We didn't fix the problem. We had all these months to fix it. It never got fixed. So here we are right now. And then you look at Jalen Hurts. You're 0 for 7 on throws of 15-plus yards down the field. Listen, we can't escape certain things. Now, a couple of those plays, a couple of them were drops by A.J. Bown. We know that, okay? But in the same breath, you just look at them right now. Even Jalen Hurts going over to the sideline, there was a look on his face like, we really calling that play? Mm-hmm. We really doing that? So, again, they had ample opportunity to fix it. And here's where I'm also going to, because I consider Howie Roseman to be the best executive in the sport right now.
Right.
I will say this about Howie Roseman. Because of how gifted you have proven to be as an executive, one could easily argue if it was necessary, you should have made a change during the season. I'm talking about mid-season from the offensive coordinator spot. You could have brought somebody in that would have been more. I mean, anybody with a speck of innovation would have done a better job than Patullo ended up doing. You didn't have to live with this all season long, which, again, contributed to the frustration of A.J. Bown.
But they did that 2 years ago on the offensive side of the football and the defensive side of the football. They moved,
in the season?
Yeah, during the season. They moved away from their coordinators. What I saw from A.J. Bown last night, A.J. Bown is gone.
Right.
A.J. Bown,
AJ Brown
is getting
he wants out, and they want him.
He wants out, and they need to want him out.
That's right.
That relationship is over. That relationship is done. And part of it's the Philadelphia Eagles, but a lot of it's on A.J. Bown. I'm an A.J. Bown fan. I love the way A.J. Bown goes to work. I love the things that A.J. Bown has produced on the football field. But A.J. Bown this year was more problems than he was worth. With extreme talent, with extreme production comes extreme tolerance. He can't have that tolerance.
Right.
You can't have that tolerance when you don't catch the post. You can't have that tolerance when you don't get down the sideline and catch the football when you have an opportunity. Yeah. You can't have that level of tolerance when you drop a ball in the most important moment of the game. Right. And that tolerance is what you saw on the sideline. It's gone, and that's the reason, in my opinion, that Nick Sirianni and A.J. Bown got into it.
It's a lot of things that we have to consider here, and you beat me to the punch in regards to A.J. Bown because I do not think that locker room will stay intact in Philly.
It can't.
It's been so many different crumbs that showing like, okay, it's bound to happen. We used this narrative a couple weeks ago about it's a ticking time bomb. Yeah. Where the bomb just exploded. And what we used to see, or what we used to say about the Philadelphia Eagles, them being the best team, talent-wise, that's still the case. But it all is for naught if everybody's not cohesive. When I look at Jalen Hurts, when I look at Saquon Barkley, they're individuals that have been able to say, hey, let's distract from the real issue and let's hold each other accountable. The first thing that Jalen Hurts says is, I take full responsibility for it. But what Jalen Hurts is not going to say is, me and Kevin Patullo ain't seeing eye to eye. And if you've seen the Hard Knocks or whatever that special was, really showcasing certain things, anybody who knows football knows